The U20s took care of Slovakia in the last group game 2-0. Cade Cowell scored a very good individual effort to go up 1-0. And in the 96th minute, Nico Chikiris scored to make it 2-0. Our boys have scored 6 goals and given up 0 in the group stages. They're trying to reach their 4th consecutive quarterfinal. And I just wonder, because we're looking pretty sharp, relatively sharp. We're effective on the attacking side of the ball and been very good defensively. What are we saying here? Is this, are we going to better the best finish of all time in 1989?
All I know is
did you take into account the 2 players coming in?
No, I didn't. We got Paredes and Puskás coming in too.
Yeah. I am hyped about this group.
I mean, you're high on our U20 team right now.
No, it's weird. You guys. I don't remember this enthusiasm when we started the tournament, guys, and we had 0 things, and we were talking about, can we finish 3rd and still get through the group, and like, who are we going to play against and things like that. Shout out Gambia, by the way, Charlie, top the table. France, 2 losses. Not to sidetrack us, but man, France, Guatemala, Dominican Republic, and Fiji are like the only ones that have two losses. But shout out Gambia.
France in the mud.
My dad called me right away. He goes, "Can you believe Gambia?" Yeah, I know it's impressive, but I think I was really concerned with the striker for this U20 national team, because they're really not using one. Diego Luna is a playing as a withdrawn 9. They've used that Yapi on occasion because he is a natural striker, but primarily they're just going with the false 9, and it's working. And they're looking really good. That the team, you could tell Mickey Varias, the coach, has this group like believing in like a push for the semifinals, believing that they can win this trophy. And there's passing patterns, there's good challenges. I'm seeing a lot of potential in this group. And Cade Cowell, as a winger, he was kind of wasteful with his chances against Fiji, but when he hits, he hits. I mean, he's got a lot of potential, and he's not even scratched the surface yet. I'm hyped about this group because of, you could tell they're playing with a swagger, and for me that goes a long way. It's a young group with a lot of swagger and belief, and that pumps me up because I'm like, that reminds me of us back in the day.
Yeah, I think what's interesting is I was a little nervous in the summer because we played in that little warm-up tournament and we got handled pretty well, right? We lost to France 4-0, we lost to England 4-2, and I know we were missing some players, but it just, I was like, I don't know if Mikey Vars can get this group together and get them, to your point, believing in themselves in a way where they're creating this confidence and this momentum that I hope carries on. Now, with all due respect to the teams in our group, Fiji is a walkover. Slovakia, I thought, were solid, but not indestructible. And then Ecuador, I actually thought we were pretty impressive. Ecuador will end up being second in the group. And we took care of it and scored the goal that we needed to do and created enough chances to win that game, and we're stout defensively. So because I'm seeing a lot of good actions and sequences on both sides of the ball, I'm happy about where we are. Now, we're going to face one of the big boys at one point, and then obviously we're going to see what we're really made of. But so far, so good is how I like to see it. The only other time a U.S. men national team at any age group have swept a group was the 1991 U17 World Cup. So this is a heady company here for this U20 group, and long may it continue, especially with the additions of Paredes and Puskás for the knockout rounds. Heath.
I was going to ask him if you were in that group, but then I realized that you were. Were you too old in '91?
I was too old to play in the '91 U17s.
Jimmy would have been one of the 3 overage players for the U20s.
Overage players. Yeah.
No, I mean, look, I think again,
I thought he was
Jimmy had his A license then, so he could have. I do think that. What I saw against each of these teams, though, are these momentary lapses that we haven't been punished for, right? Giving up. And it happens to every team. It's just that, like, we haven't had anything unlucky happen to us in the tournament, and that's always kind of scares me.
Yeah, you want to get those out in the group stage.
Yeah. We haven't had any. We haven't been punished for a bad turnover. We haven't been, and like Fiji got down to the goal a couple times against us, right? During like a moment lapse, there's like 3-4 minute window where they were actually knocking on the door. Selena made a good save, but you could feel a momentum shift. And I think this team hasn't. I worry that they haven't faced enough adversity to know that if you get punched in the face at some point, can they dig out of it? I think we have the quality and things like that, but you're talking about depending on who we get. It's a funky tournament in terms of who we draw after winning the group. Like we could very well not be rewarded for sweeping the group, which you should after 3 games, right? And so it could be a really tough pathway, I guess, to get anywhere beyond this. So it's like tempering expectations.
No, and we're recording this early just so everybody knows. So even though you guys will know by Monday on Memorial Day who we're playing against in the round of 16, we do not at this moment. But I will say, to your point, Heath, that if we give up the first goal in any of these knockout round games, now we're going to really see how we're managing the situation. And that'll be a nice test for our young players that we're very excited about, including Heath, who thinks a couple of them in the 2026.
Can I just add one more thing about these guys is I will say that there's something about it, like a Cade Cowell, right? When I think about a Cade Cowell right now in the World Cup, he's still barely, again, scratching the surface of what he could be as a player. But I don't worry about him hiding in a World Cup, right? There's a number of these guys that I've looked at and I've watched for a couple of years now that you go, oh, when things get tough in a World Cup, and we know it's all different when you play for the national team in big moments and things have been going their way. They're not guys that I worry about being like, well, I don't know what we're going to get from them. I at least know that there are certain skill sets about a number of these players that we've seen at the club level that I go, oh yeah, they're at least up for the challenge. They're going to at least compete. They're at least professionals at a level and rate that I think it doesn't worry me about playing a tough opponent.